Hello and welcome back to another episode of Fallout 4, but this episode is different because this episode we are starting a new character as we try and do all of the side quests and explore all of the areas. This is going to be a very, very long playthrough, however it should be fun. Oh, that's new. We can be Sean. Okay. Yeah, no thanks. As interesting as that would be. Alright, let's look at facial features. Let's just customize it a little bit. Change the hair to garage band, and then facial hair should be
What do you
there.
think,
We go.
Beer or
Also, I
movie?
have it muted because for whatever reason, no matter what you turn off in the audio, I have radio off, I have music off, but for whatever reason, this dumb radio in the other room is still always playing, and it's so annoying. Alright, let's bring those eyebrows down a little bit. And, accept.
There's
No.
something different. What is it?
That we can make it a little, a little smaller. Alright. There's about good. Don't want super big eyes. And then that should be just about all we need to do. Accept that. And accept that. Alright. That should be good. Well, let's change that a little bit. There we go. Alright. So this is our character. Just hit enter, confirm, and then we can unmute it. Go away, radio. Thank you, Codsworth. Can drink that and then mute it again for a second, so that we can walk in here and turn off this radio because it's annoying. There, now we're good. So, as we're going to be explaining every single small little detail, this is the sole survivor's bedroom before the war. As you can see in here, he's got his military fatigues.
War never changes. You got that right.
I will turn the volume up a little bit.
I was nervous at first, but Codsworth's really good with Sean.
I'm not even in the kitchen. Hold on. Alright. You can't search this, but I believe it to have the rest of his military stuff, including his rifle and everything. His camera.
We really need to get those vacation photos developed.
Looks like he's already got a vacation photo right here. His watch
Broken again.
is always broken. And, just the average bedroom for any average people. Let's go in here and see
Can you get that?
the
It's probably on
maintenance
sale soon.
stuff.
Comes for you every day.
The hammer, there's glue, and some cans. They're not rusted or dented. It's interesting. Oh man, the lag is bad though. Here's his bathroom. Toothbrushes, toothpaste. It's a pretty regular house that they have. Their washing room has a washer and a dryer and a box for Codsworth and fuel for Codsworth.
Come on, just
Another fine product of General Atomics International.
The washing machine.
Yeah, let Codsworth take care of it.
And then he's got the Abraxo, which is what you put in like the stuff.
Abraxo for all your cleaning needs.
hammer. I assume he was trying to fix the heater. Or, no, pipes.
No, he's not gonna give up.
Will you stop, please? Okay. And then sugar bombs are an iconic food, an iconic cereal throughout all of the Wasteland, found in all of the games. Let's see what he has to say about it.
Sugar bombs. 100% daily value of sugar.
Yep. In the refrigerator, you can find Salisbury steak.
Saddle up Salisbury
Do
steak.
you mind getting the
Graded
door?
A plus.
Hold on a minute. Give me a minute. Okay. Nuka-Cola,
Nuka-Cola. Ice cold.
very prevalent in the eastern part of the America, because Sunset Sarsaparilla
get the
is
door?
mainly in the west. Yes, hold on a minute. Okay, newspaper,
More of the same.
more of the same. Yes, it is. Okay, And he
Grognak
likes,
the Barbarian in the Jungle of the Bat Babies. My favorite.
he likes reading comics. He's a soldier from before the war, and there's lots of just neat little things
Honey,
in his
do you
pre-war
mind getting the
house.
door?
Shut up, Nora. No, I don't want to get the door right now. But there's neat little things you can find in here, like all of the things they buy, showing the good old American capitalism of the game. Um, but it's a pretty regular house. Also, never seen this closet right there.
Are you
But
gonna
I
get
don't
the-
think you can open it. Okay, what do you want?
Good morning. Vault-Tec calling.
Hi. Good morning.
Good morning.
Isn't it? Just look at that sky out there. You can't begin to know how happy I am to finally speak with you. I've been trying for days. It's a matter of utmost urgency, I assure you.
Alright. Urgency?
What's so important?
Why, nothing less than your entire future. If you haven't noticed, sir, this country has gone to heck in a handbasket. If you'll excuse my language. The big kaboom is... It's inevitable, I'm afraid. And coming sooner than you may think. If you catch my meaning. Now, I know you're a busy fellow, so I won't take up much of your time. Time being a precious commodity. I'm here today to tell you that because of your family service to our country, you have been pre-selected for entrance into the local vault. Vault 111.
Sounds great.
Oh, it is. Believe you me. Now, you're already cleared for entrance in the unforeseen event of total atomic annihilation. I just need to verify some information. That's all.
Sure, let's do it.
Splendid. Splendid. Now, let's see.
From that dialogue you hear there from the Vault-Tec representative, it may make you think that they are behind the bombs. However, that's not necessarily true. I'm not saying it's not true, but that dialogue can also mean that because the government and Vault-Tec were working together, and because the government knew about the submarines off the coast in the west and then the Yangtze in the east, they likely told Vault-Tec so that they could have preparations made so that when the ICBMs were launched, everyone can go into the vault and they would already be there. It's not a matter of they've already, like, they know it's coming because they did it. No. We'll start out with an even playing field, see how this treats us, as you can level up an infinite amount of times, and seeing as we're going to explore every single location, probably one per episode, other than this episode will be like the introduction and Vault 111, maybe just the introduction. But regardless, we'll leave it at an even playing field for now. And probably by the time we're finished with this, we should be 10 and everything. So we will name our character John. For no reason. And oh, no. There. R to
Wonderful.
accept.
That's everything. Just gonna walk this over to the vault. Congratulations on being prepared for the future.
Goodbye.
Thanks again.
Hey, it's peace of mind. That's worth a little paperwork, right?
For you and Sean, no price is too high.
Good answer.
I have my moments.
Mr. John, Sean has been changed.
Just listening to the TV a little bit as it talks about Vault
I
Tech.
think he needs some of that paternal affection you seem to be so good at.
Good old USA.
You heard Codsworth. Go on.
Alright. Now, from there, we just come in here, talk to Sean, our son. Play with
How
him
are the two
and
most
the
important men in
thing.
my life doing? Spin them up a
Mobile.
little bit. He loves that.
That's what I was gonna do. Thanks, Nora. Also, I believe we
Hey,
can
how's
open
my
that.
little guy?
Yeah,
Much better now.
Blast
huh?
radius.
Listen,
Oh.
after breakfast, I was thinking we could head to the park for a bit. Weather should hold up.
Yeah, sounds like fun.
Sir, Mum, you should come and see this.
Codsworth, what's wrong?
Alright, before we go and see that, Blast Radius is a game about nuclear detonation, and it's basically teaching kids through playing a game that you should try and stay far away from a blast if you see one. Also, one random little tidbit, the,
Followed by
oh,
yes,
hold on.
followed by flashes, blinding flashes, sounds of explosions. We're trying to get confirmation.
What?
We seem to have lost
What did he
contact with our
say?
affiliate stations. We
Oh, no.
we do have coming in. That's confirmed reports. I repeat, confirmed reports of nuclear detonations in New York and Pennsylvania. My God.
Oh my god.
We need to get to the vault. Now!
I've got Sean.
but the, Vault Boy holding his thumb up is not giving you a thumbs up. He is actually testing to see if he's far enough away from the blast to not be irradiated. If you hold your thumb up and your thumb is bigger than the mushroom cloud, then it means that you are far enough away that the radiation will not hit you. It's kind of a little bit darker than you might expect. However, it is what he's doing. It's not him giving you a thumbs up.
Sir, I am
Not on the list.
Vault-Tec.
You don't get in.
I'm going in. You can't stop me. Okay. I'm reporting this.
If you're in the
Hey there.
program, step forward. Otherwise, return home.
We need to get in. We're on the list.
They have to!
Infant, adult male, adult female. Okay, go ahead.
Thank you!
Get to the vault.
Good luck, man.
Alright, now we just run over to the vault.
What's gonna happen to all those people outside the
We're
gate?
doing
They're
everything
going
we
to be
can. Now keep
evaporated and
moving.
turned into
Step on the
skeletons unless they can
platform,
try
in
and
the
escape
center.
before the shockwave hits them and the radiation.
Almost there. We're gonna be okay. I love you. Both of you.
We love you too.
There's the nuclear blast. So, if our character was to hold our thumb up, you would see that we are definitely not far enough away. Also, it may look like it's really close, however, that is way far away. As we are in Sanctuary Hills at the time of the blast. Well, the blast is in the very, bottom left corner of the map in the glowing sea. Therefore, seeing as it's 3 cities away, that
We
must
did
be a huge mushroom
We
cloud.
made it. You're okay.
I can turn the volume back up so you can hear
Everyone,
the
please
audio.
step off the elevator and proceed up the stairs in an orderly fashion.
No need to worry, folks. We'll get everyone situated in your new home. Vault
Yes.
111.
This will be
Better
our new
future
home.
Underground.
Yes, up the stairs, please.
Nail.
So this is supposed to be our new home. And we're supposed to live in it and just be
You'll need your suit before we
decontaminated.
can take you further.
Thanks. What now?
Just follow the doctor here. He'll show you where to go.
All right, you three. Follow me.
So what's supposed to happen
See?
is we're supposed to
This is our new home.
just be decontaminated
gonna love
and then
This
walk
is
on
one of our
out
most advanced facilities.
and live here.
Not that the
But
others aren't
nope,
great,
not
mind
at
you.
all. We
It's
get
gone.
frozen instead.
Our home. Everything we
Sir?
had.
My mother and father down in D.C. Oh, God, honey. What if they didn't make it?
I know this is a difficult time, but Vault Tech will be with you every step of the way. You'll thrive here.
Did you have
lost
any
everything.
family outside the city?
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
As they are talking,
We'll never see
their
How long
people,
do you think we'll be down here?
their family,
Oh, we'll be going
is
over
in the
all
capital
that.
Wastes, which
Just a
is
few
in
medical
Fallout
items
3,
we have to get
which
through
we
first.
may eventually play.
It's a good fit.
Just checking everyone off the
Vault
list
suit
as they
is
come
designed
in.
to be fashionable as well as comfortable.
Prepare for the future, right?
I wonder if we can get into this pod instead.
Just step in here and put your vault suit on.
Nope, we can't. Alright. And you know the rest from there if you've seen my previous series.
The pod will decontaminate and depressurize you before we head deeper in the vault. Just relax.
Time for a whole new life.
That is very true. So, the actual experiment is cryogenic freezing, which is actually successful in doing so, or else this would be a very short game, and this would be the very end of it, right here. However, it is not. And many of the Vault residents actually survived and would have been able to be let out with the sole survivor. However, Kellogg has a different idea, and that is to tie up all loose ends and kill everyone except for the sole survivor. And it's debated many times on why he leaves the sole survivor alive, and my belief is that he's left alive, or he or she is left alive because while they're testing Sean and using Sean to make sense, since our character is very closely related to him, sharing 50% of our DNA with him, it's much more likely that if Sean had died during the creation of the synths, then we would be needed. To finish the project, I guess. And that is the end of Nora. Unfortunately, everyone else is alive at this point, but when we're refrozen, they all die. I can now turn down the volume, as there will be no more dialogue for the rest of this episode, as we're just covering Vault 111 and the backstory behind it. Well, I guess Vault 111 and pre-war Soul Survivor's Home, which our character is supposed to be named Nate. However, it's John instead, because whatever, doesn't matter. It says there's a critical failure. That's because it has been hacked into by the Institute. They first had to manually hack into it to release Sean, but then they can just override the Vault Tech HQs, which you find elsewhere in Boston, and actually monitor from there, and actually even like release the pods remotely from there as well. So let's go ahead and open the
Come on,
control
come on,
panel
come on. Oh, God!
and find our dead wife. And talk to Nora.
You did this, and I'll get Sean back. I promise.
So this is one of two, or no, one of three areas, I believe, that the Vault residents are at, and they're all dead, unfortunately. It would have been real interesting if they would have left all of them alive. However, there is one pod empty, other than ours, but that one pod is supposed to be empty.
God. Why would Vault-Tec do this?
Because Vault-Tec was a horrible corporation. That's why. So, we can look on the monitoring terminal and look at cryogenic array. Cryogenic array offline, premature termination resulting in system failure. Isolated manual and remote overrides detected. Controls are disabled. And then life support. Life support offline. Premature termination resulting in system failure. Isolated manual and remote overrides. Controls disabled. Pod occupant status. So we have pod C1, which is empty. Likely a character that is talked about later in the vault, who did not make it. Miss Callahan. Let's see her status. Occupant status deceased. Cause of death, asphyxiation due to life support failure. So that's how they all die. Her husband as well. And Mr. and Mrs. Abel. Asphyxiation, just to show that they're all dead like that. And Nora and Sean. Now Nora and Sean, the occupant status is unknown. Pod door manually overrided and engaged, or manual override engaged. Because it was opened, they cannot see what has happened. Occupant status unknown, remote override engaged, which means that that's a remote override, not an automatic release. Therefore, somebody let us out. And since they didn't use the control panel to the right of us, that means that they must have done it remotely from Vault-Tec HQ, which they did. Mr. Russell, as well, is dead due to asphyxiation. So now, from here, we can move on into the hallway, open the sliding door, and if you turn to the left, you find another chamber with more people that are also dead due to cryopod failure.
Hello? Anyone?
Our character is pretty freaked out by this, but if you go to Vault 111 monitoring terminal in here, you will find the exact same entries, just for all of these people. They're all dead due to asphyxiation. They're dead, okay? That's it. But anyways, you can look in and see that they are all dead, in fact, which is unfortunate. It'd be interesting if, like, they kept alive and then you could, like, interact with them, or maybe one could become your companion. Who knows? But they likely would not be the best companions, as when we do the Sanctuary episode, you will find out that most of them are drug addicts, and buy drugs from one character who is also in the vault, I believe. So they're not the best of people, especially since some of them give it to dogs to fight. So some of them are really not the best of people. Anyways, we can take the stim pack, and we can take the pre-war money. Pre-war money is always good. And let's look at this terminal. Vault 111 security instructions. Confidential, confidential, confidential. Security eyes only. Violation. Vault-Tec personnel 01011. Vault 111 is designed to test the long-term effects of suspended animation on unaware human subjects. Security staff are responsible for maintaining installation integrity and monitoring science staff activity. Under no circumstances are staff allowed to deviate from the assigned duties. Insubordination or interference with Vault operations are capital offenses. Security staff are authorized to use lethal force. So, basically, if you don't follow the rules, security's going to kill you. Not a very good thought to think about. Resident admittance. Upon activation notice from Vault-Tec, all personnel are required to report to the entry area and assist with admittance of Vault residents. Security personnel will maintain order and ensure that no personnel or residents attempt to evacuate the Vault. Research staff will be responsible for resident intake and escort each to the designated cryogenic pod. Residents not accounted for in the manifest should be asked to step aside and detained forcefully by security if necessary. Once all residents have been sealed into their preservation chambers, dispose of any detainees. Vault entryway must remain sealed under any circumstances. So basically, if you're not on the list and they make it in, they'd kill you. Let's see, science staff. Members of the research team must daily monitor the vital signs of the cryogenically preserved residents. Cardiopulmonary and cognitive activity in particular must be recorded hourly. Life-saving intervention is only permitted if greater than 80% of the resident population has perished while in cryogenic suspension, and must not interrupt suspension. Independent research is encouraged and left to overseer discretion. Sorry about that. Let's read security personnel. Security patrols are to be carried out on a constant 8-hour rotation. Security priorities include monitoring for signs of intrusion, checking for atmosphere leaks, settling disputes among personnel, enforcement of regulations set forth by the overseer, and enforcement of regulations set forth by Vault-Tec itself. They're basically the police. Facility services and maintenance. Due to the nature of Vault 111, personnel will be expected to perform duties outside of their normal qualifications, such as janitorial duties and food preparation. The exact distribution of these roles is left to the overseer's discretion. So now, all clear message. All clear message. Following the nuclear event, Vault-Tec will monitor hazards such as radiation levels, enemy invasion, subsequent attacks, and other factors. Once conditions are deemed safe, the terminal will receive an all-clear notice. Upon receiving the all-clear notice, Vault-Tec personnel may be evacuated at overseer discretion. Disregard any notices from organizations or individuals not associated with Vault-Tec, including government and military. Residents are not to be disrupted or evacuated. Vault-Tec will attend to their needs remotely once Vault 111 staff has been evacuated. Pretty much, they were just going to keep them cryogenically frozen forever. Alright. Vault-Tec security. No. That is mandatory shelter period. Vault 111 is classified as a short-term assignment. Non-resident personnel are expected to carry out research duties and basic maintenance of the vault while awaiting the all-clear signal to evacuate. In the absence of the all-clear message from the Vault-Tec, the overseer may elect and evacuate staff after a mandatory shelter time of 180 days of containment. Under no circumstances may Vault 111 staff evacuate during this shelter period unless receiving the all-clear message from Vault-Tec, which shouldn't be possible as radiation does not only take 180 days, as Hiroshima and Nagasaki are still facing the effects of radiation from the 50s. um, October 23rd, 2077. Gosh, it finally happened. The world's over, barely got all the residents inside. Not everyone made it. Now it's just us and the icebergs. I don't get it. Eggheads tried to explain to me that keeping them frozen is a big experiment for a better future or something. I don't know. It just doesn't seem right that we were smiling at them all that time before putting them on ice. Shouldn't we have at least told them or something? December 25th, 2077. Christmas Underground. Got together with the rest of the security boys and support staff and had a little party. Best gift that got handed out was a fancy lad snack cake. And that wasn't too stale. None of the scientists came. Overseer wasn't there either. I just don't get them. They're hiding something from us, another company's secret, only for the higher-ups? Whatever. Just a few more months until the all-clear signal is supposed to come through, then we can start rebuilding. March 24th, 2078. Only a few weeks left of our mandatory shelter period. Everyone's getting stir-crazy. Some people are even saying the all-clear signal is never coming. We can't stay here much longer, that's for sure. It's not just the fact that I've been staring at the same break room and bunk bed for over 6 months. It's the fact that we only have enough food left for another few months, tops. The overseer keeps telling everyone to be patient, focus on work. He's definitely keeping us out of the loop. Something bad is going on, I just know it. April 23rd, 2078. The main door accessing the vault exit is malfunctioning. Now the only way to get out is through the overseer's evacuation tunnel. How convenient for him. He has one of the science team watching the door into his office at all times from a little makeshift checkpoint. Got invited to a meeting tonight, support staffers and security only. Sounds like I'm not the only one with an axe to grind. Last entry. No all clear from Vault Tech is coming. We need to leave. We're all but out of food. I almost murdered Stanley for dropping a salt cracker on the floor. A handful of us confronted the overseer about opening up the vault. I never knew a man that small that could shout that loud. Now he's locked himself in his office along with the rest of the science staff. We're supposed to hand over any food, weapons, and medicine that we have by tonight, or there's going to be consequences, quote unquote. I've talked to everyone. It's time. One way or another, we're getting out of this vault. So, I assume there was an uprising, and everyone is dead, and that is why you cannot find anyone who is still alive from Vault 111, deeming you the sole survivor. However, that's not necessarily true, as he said that the overseer locked himself in the room along with the science staff. However, I do not believe you will find all of the science staff inside. There should be another terminal over here.
What the hell?
Yes, John. There are giant roaches. Overseer memo. Remember, use of the recreational terminal is a privilege. If work performance declines, this privilege may be revoked. Enjoy responsibly. Top 10. Rick, Tim, TGM, which some of these are actually codes that you can put into your system by hitting tilde and typing the letters, like TGM toggles God mode, and I believe it's TCL toggles no clip mode. And I don't think anything else does anything, but whatever. Play tape. This is a tiny little game, much like Donkey Kong. Enter? Yes, you have to enter, and then it'll start the game. And then you just kind of run around like it's a level of Donkey Kong. And you just jump over the gaps with space, and you have to dodge the missiles as they fly at you. And then he'll roll down little fireballs. There we go. Oh, gotta watch out for those. Please go down. Ah. Well, I'm not too good at it, but it's a neat little game if you like to play it. Let me just die on purpose. Ah. There we go. 'Cause I don't want to play. Oh wait, I can just hit tab. Yeah, there we go. Enter. And you can also take the tape with you. However, yeah, we'll take it. Eject holotape, and now we have that tape. We can play it anytime on our Pip-Boy. So now let's move through here. Open the sliding door. Oh, and this is the kitchen area. You can find just some empty beer bottles and empty cups and everything, likely just left around as seems like things were going downhill. Also, this is the bunk area that you can go into. So if you go through the kitchen and turn directly to the right, there's this area. And it's just got a few beds and lockers. Not really much to loot, per se, but it's interesting to look around and see how the living conditions were. It's almost militaristic, with people sleeping in bunks and real close together. Nobody had their own room, except for the overseer, who seemed to be very privileged. Also, do not walk towards that, as that will kill you. It's usually that rad roach will die right there, but for some reason it has not this time. Anyways, let's walk along and smack these guys in the head. There, now he's dead. And you find the first skeleton. So this is just a regular vault dweller, therefore I assume he's part of the support team or the security staff.
What happened here? Where is everyone?
Everyone is dead or gone. So you open the sliding door, come up here, kill some more rad roaches. And then if you enter through here, you will find the overseer's office, with the overseer standing or laying on the floor back here.
Is this all that's
dead.
left?
And you can pick up the you can pick up the 10mm pistol, which we don't want to use right now. So we'll hit 3 to switch back. You can also pick up 3 stim packs, and there's another 10mm pistol and some rounds in here. Eventually, you can get the cryolator, which is an experiment that the overseer was doing himself. If you come in here, you can find that they did have ammunition back here as well, which is interesting. As why he needed it in his bedroom, I don't know, but apparently he did. But I presume that he was assaulted and killed, and either the security staff escaped, as we have only found one of their bodies, or the science staff killed off the security staff and they escaped instead. So let's look at the Overseer's terminal and investigate. Vault 111 Overseer instructions. Confidential, confidential, confidential. Overseer's eyes only violation. Vault Tech Personnel 01011. Vault 111 is designed to test the long-term effects of suspended animation on unaware human subjects. Basically the same thing that is in the other terminal that we've already read. And then Cryolator. I've long dreamed of making cryogenic freezing available in a portable, on-demand form. The cryolator is my latest attempt. Thankfully, we're in no short supply of the chemicals and components I need to tinker with the prototype. It's a nice way of occupying the time as we wait for the all clear sign. Operations Protocol Manual. Resident Attendance. Upon activation notice from Vault-Tec, all personnel are required to report to the entry area. Blah blah blah. We've already read all this, and that's it. Staff duties. We've read all of this, and so now we can just go to Overseer's log. So preparations. The final staff orientation is complete. All but a few of the residents down in Sanctuary Hills have been enrolled, and several from Concord as well. Vault-Tec supervisors came up this week to do a technical review with me. This vault is ready to open. I can only imagine what wonders our residents will get to witness, the notion of leaping forward in time. I almost wish I could join them and see the promise of our future realized. However, you would end up dead. It's happened. We were lucky that most of the staff was nearby when the early warning came. Early warning. Remember, early warning. That means they had an earlier warning than the rest of all civilization in America, which is bad but also good, because if they hadn't had the early warning, then there would have been even more mass chaos, and likely could have been less vaults that actually were sealed in time. Anyways, the early warning came through. We had less notice than expected, but only Nordhagen was missing when we sealed the entrance. Nordhagen, I believe, is the person that is missing from the last cryopod. Resident attendance went smoothly. Everyone made it, even the family that waited until the last minute. That's us. I was worried there would be more suspicion, but things happened so fast for these people, they must have been too overwhelmed to question the cryogenic pods. Systems malfunction. Strange issues today with pod C3. Subject appeared to be having a heart palpitations. Nothing life-threatening, but unusual. We realized almost too late that the pod was malfunctioning. The cryogenic array almost started thawing her out. We're not sure, but I suspect a hiccup in the Vault-Tec's remote override systems may have sent an errant signal. We'll have to keep an eye out. I only hope their systems are reliable once we evacuate the staff. Supplies running low. There's been no all-clear signal yet, even though we're nearing the end of the 180-day mandatory shelter period. Supplies were never intended to last much more than that, and despite my best efforts, people are beginning to question what we're doing down here. If people think we can just leave when the 180 days are up, they're insane. The radioactive exposure would still be potent enough to fry everyone if the vault seals are breached that early. The whole point of the all clear was to receive additional instructions from the main office. I don't know what to do. I can't open the vault. I can't expect our supplies to last forever. I just have to keep everything under control until the all clear. Mutiny. A faction led by the security personnel have turned on me, demanding they be allowed to leave the vault. Idiots. I will not open the door to be irradiated to death out there. I'm consolidating the remaining supplies, putting the staff on lockdown. We're going to have to start prioritizing who deserves what little food we have left. I've been too generous with the rations. If people don't like it, well, there's fewer mouths to feed. So, I assume he killed anybody who fought against it. Now we can open the evacuation tunnel. The personnel evacuation tunnel is now open. Remind all staff to be orderly and follow shutdown protocols before exiting and resealing Vault 111. Please maintain all staff records and research report to your local Vault Tech superiors for debriefing and further instructions. So, now we can leave through here. There's not really much else, I believe, to loot in here. So, we kind of really got everything that was important. I mean, you could pick up the last 10mm pistol, but it's really not going to be much use. And turn to the left, and there are some rad roaches. And kill all of them. I prefer not to use ammunition on them, as you can just beat them to death with your security baton. And then this will teach you stealth. And he comes out of the floor every time. And we are in the main area for the entrance. So here we find another skeleton, likely from, oh, it was manually locked. That's interesting. But here we find another skeleton, likely from the security, because all the scientists had lab coats. And we know that, for a fact, there were more than 5 people here. So the fact that there is only 5 skeletons is an indication that at least somebody made it out.
Did anyone get out?
I believe so, John. I believe so.
Everyone's dead.
Everyone that you find in here is dead. You can pick up the Pip-Boy for the broken arm on the skeleton of the scientist, and then that'll be put on your wrist. Your left forearm, I guess, not wrist. And then the Pip-Boy doesn't have anything on it, information-wise, but it'll load up and all that, and then you just have it for the rest of the game, which you need it to check your inventory. And it's much more immersive than just having like a menu for your inventory, because you don't get a menu in real life. But this thing is more immersive because it's like a menu, but it has an in-game like item. And let us watch as the door opens to the Commonwealth. There we go. We are out of Vault 111. And that will wrap up this video right here. And thank you guys very much for watching. And I hope to see you guys in the next one as we explore Sanctuary Hills and all of the secrets that it holds. It holds some secrets on some of the dwellers inside the vault who are now dead, unfortunately. However, there's not much we can do about it. Also, I say however too much. I should work on that. So, let's leave. We don't want to change anything. Finish. Exit the vault.
Enjoy your return to the surface, and thank you for choosing Vault Tech.
Alright. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.